Hey everybody, Aaron here, and this is another anime review. Today is going to be a review of Shuffle. This is the 76 review. Now, I was actually going to do Shuffle a few weeks ago, and it was actually going to be a surprise attack review. Even though I've watched Shuffle way back when multiple times, this is my third time watching it. I then had to do, the new editing software that I use and the new concepts and how I do my videos now. I had Shuffle recorded as a review on my old setup with my camera and all that, but I then went, you know what? If I'm doing everything new, I have to kind of do that one new, so also as well, because that'd be kind of weird to go back and do a video solo like that. So, a lot of my reviews I've had to redo recently, and I saw thus I pushed this back a little bit, and so technically this is the 76 review. I'm not going to actually do it as a surprise attack because it's been now a few weeks since I watched it. And surprise attack reviews are usually like, if I watch them within the last like 3 days, I'll do a surprise attack. But anyways, let's talk about Shuffle. Now, if you watched, I guess it would be yesterday's video because I think I'm going to put the top 10 harems up there. You'd actually know if Shuffle was my first place. And that's why I kind of feel almost it was fitting that I put this up now on today. I think today's Sunday. Yeah, I believe this should be coming out Sunday. If not Monday, and then I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's one of the 2 days of either Sunday or Monday. It's one of these days, okay? But Shuffle, I had on my top list. I had first place because I thought it was an amazing anime. And I want to tell you guys why and what my actual review of it is, and give you some actual review. That'd be nice, right? I just be honest with you. I just couldn't. I lost my whole train of thought for a second. And I'm like, what am I? How am I talking again? How does one talk? All right. Anyways, so Shuffle, real fast, is a simple story setup at least. Our main character Rin is a normal human being. He's had to live with his best friend from when he was a kid, who she had her mother die, but his parents died in a car accident when they were little. So he's been living with her. And his life's been pretty simple, for the most part. Rin's a popular guy at school. He has some friends. He's actually known by a lot of people as being hated because he likes one of the most popular girls of the school, who's the girl he lives with. But then all of a sudden something odd happens where these two mysterious girls show up from different places, and he runs into them in the course of the first episode. And lo and behold, we end up finding out that these two girls actually know Rin when he was a kid, and he somehow helped them and they fell in love with them from when they were kids. So thus, they now are in love with them now. And ironically, in a world that apparently have both gods and demons, they are respectively god and demon. And he gets to choose if he wants to be the king of gods or the king of demons if he chooses one of these two girls. Which, by the way, Narine is the girl on the left, and Sia, who her whole name is I can never pronounce, is the girl with the red hair. And those are the two girls that show up. The other three girls, the girl in the middle, dead center in the middle, is the girl he lives with. The girl with the green hair, Asa, is his childhood friend, one of his childhood friends, and Primula is a girl who shows up later in the story for reasons. But this is a harem in every facet of a harem. That's why I had to go through that list like the way I did, because this is a harem. This is a romance story at heart too, but it starts off with the premise of it being a harem where all these girls like him at the same time. Some don't know it yet until fully when they realize they fall in love with them. But it's a show that delves with harem in a way that I think, deals with harem in a way that I think is unseen by a lot of shows. And I said that in my top 10 harem review. In that it does shy away from the whole concept. It goes toward the end of our main character actually choosing one of the girls that he falls in love with. And I'm not going to say which one it is. It's not very hard to figure out who he's going to end up choosing if you actually start paying attention to the story. But he does end up choosing one of them. But the show actually at one point I think is almost a comedy and then a drama and then a romance story. The comedy is like the first half of the show. It's going to have a lot of comedy. It's a lot of, him going on dates with the various girls because the dads of both the gods, the king of gods, the king of demons, they want Rin to go out with one of their daughters and marry one of their daughters. So he gets put on dates with them. And over the course of the show, he falls in love with both of them, but he really tries to kind of see where his feelings lie with them and who his feelings actually lie with the most. Now, one of the biggest things about the story, though, once the halfway part of the comedy ends, the show becomes very serious, where you start seeing these characters have a lot of issues. For example, one of the characters has another personality inside of her that is very hell-bent on, instead of being meek and kind of weak-minded, she wants to show that, hey, I'm the sexy type of girl, I want to do this and that, and thus she kind of shows her forefront right to Rin immediately, and then that comes out. You have another character who was actually the product of an experimentation. You have another one who had a lot of childhood memories that were very bad. It becomes a very big, like very dark drama story in the middle part. And then the very last part, it's very weird. Almost you could think of the show in arcs. The very last series or arc part is then just romance, where Rin finally chooses one of the girls, and the kind of story actually focuses more on their romance and what they're dealing with in the process of that. By the way, I apologize. I don't have a bit of a cold, but I think my sinuses are kind of messed up from the weather. But anyways, so what is pretty cool about this though is that Shuffle is so cool because it just doesn't do its typical harem thing. It really tries to be its own creation, its own concept, and that's something I really dig. This is based off a visual novel. That's why it's ideal for a harem story, because visual novels you get to choose from a plethora of girls, and lo and behold, Shuffle, the anime, is also kind of in the same way. It's the same venue. But I just like that at the end it actually has the character, actually being with one of the girls. And I also like Rin as a main character. I think Rin is one of the best harem main characters because he knows what he wants, and he also, at the same time, is still a little bit idiotic with it. It's normal. It's something that if you put yourself in that role, you can realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I didn't know how that girl felt about me, herself and myself. And then you go on and figure out, what do you feel about her? How do you like her? Do you like her as a friend or a romantic interest? And that's what I like about Rin. He's not wishy-washy. He immediately tries to figure out what his feelings are, and in the course of the show becomes a lot more mature as a character. And it's just really a nice growth story. It shows that his progression actually evolves into something more than just a stupid teenager in your atypical harem story. Now, Shuffle is not without its issues. The biggest issue with Shuffle is that it's showing its age in terms of graphics. Now, I'm not going to review it. I'm not going to review it harshly because of that, because this is an older show. This is around like 2000, I think 3 or 4, around that. So this is a very old show in anime world, and even more so, it's something that I can't hold it against it, because back then this was incredible back then for animation. This was something amazing, and now it's like, you've seen better, but nonetheless, it still holds up pretty well. It still looks good. This thing I think would have a shelf life in terms of maybe 5 or 6 years from now, it'd still look pretty good. But, maybe 10 years from now, it might look garbage compared to the stuff that's coming out already. Because you could already see the huge difference in harems. Harems that are coming out nowadays look a lot better. Doesn't mean, though, they're better in story or concept. It just means they visually look better. Now, honestly, if I had to review Shuffle A through F, I have to give it an A-. I love the show. That's not biased, by the way. This show is amazing. This is the harem. I tell people that if you really hate harem and you really don't have a like for it, this is a good show to watch, because it's not your typical one. It's funny, it's humorous, but it has elements that are outside of the harem genre. It has stuff like the romance or the drama that you rarely see in the harem world in general anime. Fan service is not all the time. You see it here and there once in a while. There is some brief nudity here and there. It's not that bad, though. Overall, it's not something like it's constantly berating you with fan service. It does a little, I'll tell you right now, it does a little bit at one point have a lot of fan service, a little more than it should, but it's understandable why it's happening in particularly that moment. So that's why I really give it a passing grade with that, in terms of it's not overrating. It's not like, oh, here it is constantly in your face, I hate harems that do that. I hate any anime that just constantly berates the character and the viewer with fan service. I think it's stupid. But anyways, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you guys liked it. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye.